This is Brett Jolly here. You know who I am. And, of course, my lovely sidekick over here, Toni, Love Trower. And we're here for people like us, which is a great program that everybody's loving. And you're going to love it today because we got somebody very, very special today. A man who is kind of interesting. I grew up with him. Played basketball with him. Oh goodness, we've known each other
baseball,
for baseball. That's right. All this other stuff, and he's a great friend. And now he's a star. You probably know this guy. When you put the voice with the face, it'll probably come even more. So I want you guys to give a hand, please, even if we can't hear you, to Manwell Glenn.
Hey, thank you.
Hey. You know, there's a ton
Please have a seat, all of you. Please. I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy.
No, he is. Now we're gonna start with a whole bunch of stuff because you got a lot of things under your belt.
Yeah.
You do. You got it. Yeah. Well, first of all,
less weight though. I've lost some weight.
And don't worry. Please, as a matter of fact, tell everybody what you know. Even I'm not sure if I know all of them. Just give us a little.
Well, right now I'm 7 to midnight, Classics 107.9. Sundays to Thursday nights, I'm the guy that's managing your nighttime as you kick back every night after Lady B at Classics 107.9. And then on Saturday mornings, you hear me with Dean Weitzman, the preeminent Philadelphia lawyer, my Philly lawyer, on Court Radio. And for an hour, we answer all your legal questions on 9 to 10 on Court Radio. Then on Sunday mornings, I do the breakdown, where we break down the events of the week. It's a magazine show started by all of us over there because a guy named E. Stephen Collins, may he rest in peace, a great dude.
Yeah, my man E. Stephen.
And now myself and Vincent Hughes or others are filling his shoes, what he used to do in terms of public relations and informing the public. So the show is called The Breakdown. Vincent Hughes does Philly Speaks. So other than that, I've been a political, consultant for everybody.
Wow.
People remember me from Ed Rendell and John Street, Clinton campaigns from way back. Most recently, of course, Barack Obama's campaign. But this campaign, this last one, felt like, I don't know if you guys are Marvel fans, it felt like Endgame.
A gut punch.
Infinity
Yes.
Wars, Endgame.
Yes.
This was the final battle. This was it. And man, we went down swinging. And a lot of us who were in the fight feel a little hurt, depressed, traumatized.
Well, yeah.
Definitely traumatized.
Because we put so much of ourselves into it. And a lot of times with campaigns, you sacrifice a lot. Time is the most precious commodity, and you don't get a lot of sleep. In the hours you think you should be resting, you're worrying about information, or you're knocking on doors, or you're having phone calls, or Zoom conferences. Getting 2-3 hours sleep a night for like 6 months to a year.
Wow.
That's what it's like.
Right.
And I know you were busy with that, and that's one of the questions I want to ask, because with all the work that you put in, all the work that everybody else has done, the fact that Kamala was ahead in this, Trump was delirious in just about everything that he did, Kamala had big crowds. So I'm going to ask you this question. What happened?
There's a lot of things that happened, and people like me, when we painstakingly try to explain it. And sometimes it's not simple to explain.
Right.
Other times it is simple. So long story short, a lot of folks were more concerned about Kamala Harris, who she was and her message, than the misinformation and lies they were fed by the other guy that they believed.
Right.
And the other guy was so good at hounding that home over and over and over again. He carved out a great niche for himself, and he just catered to that niche of people. Kamala's job was to get everybody else, and she went after everybody else. But as we all know, as adults, she can't please everybody all the time.
No, you can't.
She had 3.5 months to do it.
Not even 2 years, or a year,
we've seen this con man. Donald Trump for 10 years now, and he's had 10 years to be who he is.
Right.
And there is a swath of people that got caught up in that and believed in that and feel that way. And I can go on and on. Here's what I know for a fact. And I said this Sunday, and I can easily be fact checked, and I'm held to a different standard, because if I say anything wrong on our airways, we get sued. So I have to be correct. So we work on that. Right now we're in the Thanksgiving holidays. Is that okay to say? We're in the holiday season.
Absolutely.
AAA and all economists are estimating record-setting travel and record-setting holiday spending. So if the economy is so bad How is that happening?
Yeah, that's what I was going to
That's
ask you.
what I wanna know.
How does that happen?
Over the summer, every summer holiday you can name, Memorial Day, Labor Day, or 4th of July, again, record-setting travel and spending. People making gobs of money. If inflation in the economy is so bad, how was all of that happening? Everybody I know seemingly is getting their bills are paid. We're here in Philadelphia. Look on our social media feeds. Everybody's hiring.
Right?
Right. Well, that's true.
Everybody is
Very
hired.
true.
The
That's
jobs are plenty. Wages are up. So I don't understand how everyone believed that. Well, folks would say, well, I would go to the grocery store and bacon was blah, blah, blah. Okay, that was one grocery store. You went to the other one down the street. Was the price the same thing? Because
Yeah, usually we do
I
it.
experienced
Right.
that myself
Right,
with
right,
gas.
right.
Because
Yeah.
I drive a lot. I have to in my capacity of running around the city and doing the work I do. And if there's a gas station, I'll give you a perfect example. There are 2 gas stations I know, one near Strawberry Mansion and one near the Philadelphia Zoo. Gasoline is $4 no matter what's going on, from economy to premium. I like to put premium in my car because I want it to run well. But if I go to another gas station here on City Ave,
Right.
premium is $3.85.
Well, yeah.
So why would I keep going to the guy for $4 if I know I can get it cheaper someplace else?
That's right.
Inflation allows for the market to do what it does. If I keep going to a supermarket and they won't give me shopping bags, I'm going to go to the supermarket that now gives me shopping bags for free, the way we used to get them before the pandemic.
Right.
But if we keep letting them get away with the inflationary tactics, even though the pandemic has long since been over, they're going to continue to do what they do. They're not. Why lower their prices if they don't have to? You're going to keep paying them.
That's been an issue.
That's how it works, though.
That's been
Yeah,
an
that's
issue
true.
with
That's
the
true.
current administration. That the companies and have been raising their prices and not because they're losing money.
Not at all. They're making
Because
record profits.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
we keep
and
giving
they're-
it to them.
Yeah, and they're keep raising their prices because out of greed.
Out of greed. A couple of other things. So you said, well, how did she lose? Let me just say this: the niche, the constituency I felt the most for were black women. Black women have saved our butts so many times in this country, and a black woman put her foot forward. And anyone who would say Kamala's not black, stop that. That's just not common sense. Even though I know common sense has never been common. It's a black woman, grew up in Oakland, all right, went to Howard, pledged the black fraternity. If she wasn't Kamala Harris and she showed up at a KKK rally, anybody gonna be saying she looked Jamaican and East Asian to me? What? Stop it. Stop it. So that was out there. Then there was the other thing that no one counted on.
What's that?
White male frailty.
Okay.
White men who felt
A woman could-
oppressed.
Right.
Oh,
okay.
God.
Yeah.
White men felt oppressed, America. White men.
That they're oppressed, and white man should not be in the same sentence.
Yeah, white men. Yeah, white men were oppressed. White men who were forced to come in here against their will, putting chains on the ship on a boat, put on plantations, then got freed by a president who then got assassinated for freeing their butts after a whole war was fought. Then had to go through an era of Jim Crow where they had to fight to be known as a human being, go to the Supreme Court. But you're oppressed, white man.
Yeah.
All those marches for you when the police were beating your butts and shooting you, and we marched for you, white man. That was happening to all you white boys. Yeah. And then what we also found, and Democrats, I do believe, have to take a hit for this. Although they didn't see it as such, because they just took for granted that folks knew better.
Right.
Democrats did have a way of having a condescending way of speaking to people.
Yeah.
Calling people stupid.
Yeah.
Saying, come on, don't be naive, don't be gullible, even though that is exactly what you all were being. The truth hurts, and it will piss you off.
Yeah.
I get it. But people's feelings were hurt because they were called stupid.
It's almost like they were rebelling. You know, like when you tell a teenager, do not sneak out of the house,
Don't do that, but they...
and then they're going to sneak out of
Remember, we don't say his name anymore, but Bill Cosby talked about how he would come in the living room, put his drink down, tells him, now I'm gonna go away. Don't drink the drink. And he'd walk away and they pick it up and they start drinking. Say, didn't I tell you? What did I say? You said don't drink your drink. Right, why did you do that?
Exactly.
Brain damage, he used to call. So, I'm sorry, I apologize for anyone whose feelings were hurt, but understand how some of the Democrats felt. This guy has been around since the late 60s, early 70s, right? He's never been a good guy.
No.
He's never been a self-made man.
No.
He was loaned this money. Now, those of us that have been watching him know this. This is long before the TV show. Then the TV show comes along, people get caught up in the hype. It was a great show. But
I watched it.
I watched it. You're fired. You're fired. We loved it. Okay.
Right.
But still, he was never a successful guy. He was a promoter. It was an image. I read his book. And we got, well, I don't know if you know him. There's a guy who grew up in our neighborhood. His name is Malcolm Nance. Grew up on Stewart Street. Malcolm Nance, who was on CNN and MSNBC, CPO officer, Navy, well decorated. You know those movies, The 13 Hours of Benghazi, or movies about terrorism and the soldiers going? He's the real guy that does that.
Really?
That's what Malcolm really does. So Malcolm writes a book, The Plot to Steal America, Donald Trump and the Russians. He was the first one to tell everyone about this in 2015-16. I read the book. I had him on my show. He warned us all. Then,
about what was coming.
Trump becomes president. He gets the Obama economy, rides that, says, oh, look what I built. You didn't build anything. You inherited this, because that's what most presidents do. You inherit what the last guy, and they give you a cushion to run on, other than George Bush, who, what Republicans do, they spend everything and always leave a surplus.
Right.
So Obama fixes that. He fixes everything else. Remember the auto industry crash?
Yes.
Remember the oil leak?
Yes.
All right. Remember the banks crash? All they got fixed. Economy's booming. He does his 2 terms. Trump comes in, we're amazed that Hillary loses, but again, Hillary fell subject to the whole condescending thing. They felt she was talking down to people. Deplorables and everything. Folks got their feelings hurt, even though they spent all their time on social media from the get-go, calling us snowflakes and F your feelings. That's how they started. You would see his rallies, all the violence.
People are used to the Republicans' cruelty, though.
Oh,
they're used to that, so they can be cruel. But whenever we sound cruel or we sound condescending, we're not supposed to be that way.
Well, here's the way I thought we were raised. Certainly in this neighborhood, our parents raised us: go to school, get an education, go to college, be smart, be educated, especially if you're black. Because we're always we got to be 2 steps ahead, because we get 1 step back, push back all the time. That old saying. So we always thought that was what all of us were supposed to do. Now we're being beat over the head for being educated and smart and articulated in academics, because we hurt your feelings because you're not, because you couldn't keep up with us, because you wouldn't believe what we were trying to tell you. And maybe there were instances where some folks were saying this over and over. First it started out over and over and over, and then it was over and over and over and over and over and over and over. God, oh God, and please, how many times do we have to? Because the other side was beating up with all these lies. I built the greatest economy. Joe Biden's stick, and she just became black, and COVID wasn't my fault, which is a lie. He lied about COVID.
He lied about a lot.
The deaths, the mishandling of it, the mistakes. He doesn't even acknowledge the people that were with him that died. Where's Herman Cain? May he rest in peace. There was Diamond and Silk. I think Diamond died, that black woman. He doesn't even talk about it anymore.
True.
All right?
Yeah.
So Biden comes in, cleans all that up. Supply chain issues. We found out more about toilet paper and toilet tissue than we ever wanted to know back then. Remember during the pandemic?
Yes.
All right, we found out how things really worked and what. And
where
some folks, because we had nothing to do but sit around and learn stuff.
Right.
So he fixes everything, and then we slowly open up. I was one of those essential workers. I worked straight through, and there were moments I could appreciate the quiet.
Right.
You know, but it also gave us a time to reflect. I was reading a lot. I was learning more. Meanwhile, I got to stay on top of things, because it's my job to inform people of what that particular president was doing.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And he was very good at what he does with his message on all his social media platforms.
Yes, he was. You got to give him that.
You mean his lies?
Oh, please. Very
He
good.
had people believing everything.
But having read his book,
yes.
and read Malcolm's book, and Malcolm told me a couple of things, getting back to Malcolm next, that I never thought about. Donald Trump only envied one person in the world, Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, you're right.
Because off the books, everyone thinks Elon Musk is the right
I
person.
beg to differ with that. I think the other one is Hitler.
I don't think he worshipped him like
because,
Putin.
Okay, because.
But I'll give you that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Because when you read his book, Donald Trump sees the world differently than most people.
Yeah,
in his life, in his mind, you're born and the world is one big competition.
Right.
And it's who can live and end it with the most stuff and the coolest, the baddest, the greatest, the badasses. That's how, and that's really how he sees life. Nothing else, no one else matters.
Mm-hmm.
Who can actually say when asked, is there anything you would ask God forgiveness for and go, I don't think so.
No. You know what? His father is the reason why he's like that.
Fred Trump.
Yes.
Who
He raised them. If you don't win, you're
a loser.
You're nothing.
Never be a loser.
Yeah.
And his right-hand man was an attorney named Roy Cohn. Roy Cohn.
Okay.
Look this name of Roy Cohn. So I've been following Trump since those days, since the Central Park Five, now the Exonerated Five. He was one of those five black men on the death penalty. He is, and I'll give him his credit, he's the world's greatest con man and grifter. He has conned his way to the White House twice now. He has aligned his cabinet with TV hosts, reality stars, people who are ill-fitted to lead. Hey, you're one hell of a musician. If the band is flowing, and some guitarist comes up and says, "Let me grab your bass, Frog. I ain't never played, but I have a concept, and y'all about to go on tour. Can I strum it for a minute? Huh, Brett?" No.
Actually, I've had that. But I didn't give it to him.
If your brother is on the keys.
But you didn't pay him for it.
Huh?
You didn't pay him for it.
No, I didn't pay him. I wouldn't pay him at all. No,
These people trying to get paid.
I mean, come on. This is what, but this guy could talk so well that people believe, no, let him hold the bass. He can play. Let him play. Let him play the bass. Come on, let him, give him some. Or give the drum, let him play the drums.
I don't think they talked well. I think that they were on his, they were sycophants.
Sycophants for sure.
They didn't speak well. They weren't known for anything. They were just known to be out there on TV denying elections and saying that Donald Trump is awesome.
Their purpose is to be yes people, to simply say, when you
That's
pick up
the
the
only
phone,
people that
I
he
say,
can
I
have
want
friends
to
with.
say, okay, Mr. Trump. They're the folks that will not say no. The last administration, there were guardrails in place, people in place, people with common sense who knew, hold up, wait, you can't do that. Wait, Mr. Trump, no. Or if he tried to do something, they go, okay, sir. Then they walk down the hall and say, look, he's trying to do blah, 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 blah. He wanted to fire live ammunition on protesters in front of a church.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. That's
He didn't understand why the military couldn't take real bullets and shoot at your legs below your knees. Just wound him, he said.
Wow, yeah.
That's what he wanted to do. He thought we were in Ireland or Belfast, and he wanted people to shoot rubber bullets at Americans. Now, there are some folks that agree with that.
Well, yeah, they are, unfortunately. That's so sad.
Well, apparently the ones that voted him in office think it's okay.
So I'll simply say all this to all of you who thought the economy was better. You think it was better because of those PPE loans you got. Those loans you got, that check you got, didn't come from Donald Trump. It came from Nancy Pelosi and the Democratic Congress. Because Congress appropriates money, not the president. What did the president do, though? He signed his big, fat, Sharpie signature on it, and you all believed he did it.
Him. Exactly.
That only happened because it's disaster fund. It was chaotic relief for you because he had ruined everything. Every business you can look this up. Every business he has ever owned, he has ruined.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
Everyone.
Bankrupt.
Yeah.
Everyone.
And wait a minute,
But
everybody.
he's been successful.
And he's ruined everyone that he's ever been in business with. People that have worked for him end up in prison.
Taking the time for him.
Yeah, lying and cheating
So,
and breaking the law.
but that image also appeals to a certain person that goes, well, he's a badass.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a badass for himself, not for you and I.
No, right. He's all about himself. You're right.
People said, well, he didn't take a salary. He worked for nothing. No, but he also charged, for instance, the Secret Service 3 times the average to stay at his hotels. And they were only allowed to stay at his hotels.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
He raised the prices of everything. He made more money coming out than he had coming into the White House. Wow. And that's how he sees the White House. So when I told you what Malcolm Nance told me, he envies Vladimir Putin because off the books, it's not Elon Musk. Right. Vladimir Putin is the wealthiest man in the world. He controls all the monies in Russia. There are oligarchs, there are state monies. He can just take it away anytime he wants to. He has it all. He's been in office 24 or 27 years, which is the other scary thing we're worried about.
Yeah, man.
That Donald Trump will never leave.
Yeah.
Despite what the Constitution says, he's only supposed to serve 4 more years. However, he has a Supreme Court in his favor. He's going to get 2 to 3 more Supreme Court picks.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
He said he wanted to do away with the Constitution or certain rules. If there's a way to do it,
He's going to do
Oh,
it.
he's going to try.
None of the ways.
He's got smart people and they are smart. He's got smart people right now that are dissecting the laws and making sure that all of this stuff can happen.
Bottom line is he wants to finish, whenever he dies. He's probably trying to figure out a way to live forever with AI.
Right.
Oh,
He wants to live. He wants to be able to die and say he was the baddest that ever did it, the greatest dude, the king, blah, blah. And that's the way this guy thinks. Now I know this not from guesswork, not from TikTok, from actually reading real books, thick books, and over and learning who this person was. So I'm afraid. I'm worried about our country.
Absolutely.
I'm worried about individuals.
Yeah. I agree. I got. Matter of fact, I want to ask you. He's got a court case coming up. Is there? This is real important. Is there any chance at all that he's going to jail?
No.
Okay.
I didn't think he was going to jail before. I didn't think he was going to jail.
Remember the assassination?
Yeah.
I had more military and police folks call me and say, if that didn't look like some training drill nonsense, propaganda, promotion.
I feel like it was fixed.
That was the phoniest thing they all saw.
Yeah,
I feel like it was fixed. I don't think it was a real assassination.
I don't wish anybody ill will.
No.
To get murdered like that. But
No.
and we grew up in an era,
Right.
every leader we saw, we knew got killed.
Right.
Both Kennedys.
Right.
Martin Luther King.
Yep.
Yeah.
Malcolm X.
Yeah.
Medgar Evers. Right.
Yeah.
Killed. And if they didn't get killed, they got paralyzed. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, that's a traumatized group of people who came through a traumatic decade. That's us,
Yeah,
baby
yeah.
boomers.
That's true.
We grew up with that stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that our experience bodes well in this instance because we've seen some stuff. It was hard to convey that to people. With the experience that we have, I'm going back down to how did Kamala lose. Trying to convey to you, we've seen this before. This happened because they were so good with the lies. And they had an entire network.
Yeah.
Not just a network, a whole streaming service, an entire echo chamber of lies on the right that they were really good at using. Very good. You got to give them props for that because the way they see it is win at all costs. Even if it sacrifices your morality and your integrity, at the end of the day, you got to win.
Right.
The Democrats lost because they are the only ones playing by the rules.
Wow, that's incredible. So with that being said, and I know we're probably close to that time, what, if anything, do we learn from this?
I think we should learn to listen better to everyone.
Be a more educated voter? Is that?
Well, that too, but I think we have to hear everyone, even people we disagree with, and we don't understand why they think the way they feel. We really have to listen, because I'm going to tell you an issue that was bigger than folks realized, and Democrats didn't really pick up on enough. But I'm sorry, and I have nothing against the LGBTQ plus community. We're in show business. Come on,
exactly.
We don't care.
We don't care.
We don't care.
Right.
But a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And when it came down to not knowing what bathroom to go to, and people transitioning, for a lot of people, that was a big issue. I'm sorry, it was.
Right.
And even though we may think a lot of folks aren't as sophisticated as we think they should be, as maybe we think we are, we have to listen to that and have to try to communicate, because I don't think they're bad people. They really think they're right. They pray.
Yeah, they
believe in God.
Right, exactly.
All right, they go to church.
Stuff, right?
They raise children. Now, sometimes we don't know what Bible they're reading or how they're interpreting things.
Trump Bible?
The Trump Bible. I mean, a billionaire is hawking Bibles and gold sneakers. I
feel like we do need to communicate and cross the aisle a little bit more, because there's a lot of misunderstanding and miscommunication there, and lack of education.
A lot of that.
Lack of education, is I think a big thing. And I feel like it's a big part of the grievance, because I feel like a lot of people that felt like they should be doing better are seeing people of color doing better than them, and there's a big grievance with that.
How much time do we have? Oh my God!
We've got a little bit more time.
Listen to this.
We might have to have a part
You
two.
just said education. This guy wants to get rid of the Department of Education.
Oh, yeah.
How about that?
4,400 people will lose their jobs right away.
Yep.
That's families, daycare, schools, rent,
Do you
mortgage.
think that's not something that is just happens to be? They want to plan this. They want this whole country to be uneducated except for the rich people.
And you'll only believe what they tell you. You won't have access to books. There's no more critical thinking.
No.
No critical race theory. Oh, and by the way, police will have total immunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's scary.
Total
That's scary.
immunity.
Yeah.
That's
That's
really
why I'm
If
afraid
you
of
want to
things like
see
that.
people
That's scary.
rise up, if you want to see people rise up, let's see what happens during this term or after this
Well,
term. Because I have a feeling that like people are going to get so frustrated, just like the January 6 people. They were frustrated. They thought that something was stolen from them. Just wait and see.
See, that's scary.
How people rise up. You know, and what we have to do, yes, he's in the office now, but what we have to do now is we have to hold his feet to the fire. We need to make sure that he follows up on any of the promises that he made to the Democrats or the Republicans.
He hasn't made
Well, we have to hold him to it.
He's only made
We
one
have to march.
black appointment.
We have to march.
HUD. It's always HUD.
Oh, yeah,
Give
yeah.
HUD to the black person.
Yeah,
and it's
give
not
HUD.
even the person we know, and it's not anyone that would be in favor of the needs
No,
of black folks
no.
we know. So it's black women, have checked out. Listen, no one's mad at y'all. Sis, I'm serious.
I stopped watching the
I got
news.
your back.
I stopped watching the news. I cannot watch the news anymore. You know what? I've got so many things done because I'm not glued to the TV watching the news
right.
anymore. I can't. In 4 years, I'll be back.
Okay, Arnold. Okay, Terminator. And brothers, black men did what they were supposed to do. 21% went for Trump, but the majority of black men did what they were supposed to.
Yeah.
But you white Latino men,
Yeah.
you shocked us.
You know what? I want to say something about the Arab community too, because they were trying to teach Biden a lesson. Well, wait. Guess what? Pack your bags. Pack your bags. Because he's going to deport you.
Listen, y'all think everyone seems to think it's just going to be Mexicans
You don't like
and Latin
it?
Americans.
You don't. Bye.
Caribbean, folks from the Caribbean, folks from Africa. Y'all better have your paperwork in order.
He
That's all I can
doesn't
tell
even
you.
care if I can't remember what is it, a nationalized citizen.
Doesn't matter, yeah.
I think that's when you're here and you had a child that was born here or something like that. They're not even recognizing that.
White men, white America has felt displaced, and they believe they are at a place of disposition in America. They believe they founded America, and they have lost it to all the different groups. All of us, anyone's different than them. That's how they feel. So in their mind, right now, they have taken it back. This is their country now. They're in charge. The abortion issue was not about morality. It was about them losing numbers.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
White girls having abortions.
Right.
Less white people.
Right.
White folks are afraid. They're afraid of being the minority. That guilt thing is real. They know what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in all these years, have we ever risen up and said, "Oh, we're gonna get y'all for what y'all did to us"?
No, because you know why? Because we're not like them.
Right. And how pro-life are they when it comes to capital punishment?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
I don't know. There's some hypocritical things going on around here. You know, there really is. You can't, you know, it. But they're honestly, I have one word: cheaters. Cheaters. They've been cheating for years.
And good at it.
And good
Been
at it.
just like changing all of the voting districts around.
Well, so does that mean that the Democratic Party needs to get more like them?
We need to
Well,
get
you
more.
ever-
We need to get more gangsters.
Okay.
I use movies as a reference all the time. Did you see Constantine? You ever see Constantine?
Yes.
I know, sorry.
Remember when he was talking to Papa Midnight? And all his friends were dying. He was like, "You're the only one playing by the rules." But the balance, screw the balance.
There you go. That's right.
Come on, we gotta win. So I'm just saying.
I think that's what has to happen.
That's how they see it. That's how they play. It's win at all costs, and then okay, hey, we won. All right, let's get to work. And like right now, the holidays are here. We all have to break bread
Right.
with some family members and friends that we didn't agree with. That's gonna be hard.
Oh, no.
Thanksgiving and Christmas.
We're going to take a brief cut, and then you
Okay.
guys can continue.
Well, listen, and
I
well,
gotta
listen,
go.
we're basically at that point now anyway.
Yeah.
And I want to say it's a real privilege and pleasure and an honor He's been my good friend for a long while. We've
A
talked.
long time.
He's actually interviewed me,
Yeah.
and this is like the first time I think I've
I
ever.
think it is. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
the
is.
first time
I've had you and your brother.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
exactly,
right.
exactly. And he's absolutely great. You guys, first off, we're going to get in contact with you if they want to get in contact with you.
Well, guys, I'm at classics1079.com. I'm also at manglenn@gmail.com. If you want to email me, I'm at Native Man on Facebook, and I'm at Manwell Glenn on Instagram. Easy to find.
There you go. So on behalf of that, we want to say real quick, Tony, have anything you want to say real quick?
I do. I want to
Thanks for
say,
this, by the way.
no, you're
Thank you
quite
very
welcome.
much.
It was good having you. I wish we had more time.
We gotta come back for another one. We
We
got.
Well, I'm going to have y'all on my
Part
show.
2. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We will be there.
Absolutely.
We will be there.
If you guys enjoyed this topic, you guys can like drop us like if you want to hear more about politics. If you want this gentleman to come back, please
Yes.
let us know. We will have a round 2 with him. But if you like what you're seeing, if you like what you're hearing, if you like these episodes that you're seeing, please subscribe, and please share.
Please.
There you go. And last word to you, man.
Last word to me. Guys, I don't think there's ever been a better time that if you have a deity or a faith or a God that you believe in, get close to that deity and get closer to your family. And don't waste your time. Time is our most precious commodity.
There you go. And with that being said, we want to thank you guys again for another episode of People Like Us. And Manwell Glenn here.
Thanks.
Yay! Thank you very much. We will see you next time.